I was invited by the Pokemon Company to fly out to their headquarters out in Washington to help host the Shiny Rayquaza raids, and here's everything that I saw during my tour of the building and of course during the live stream. So right when you enter the floor where the Pokemon section of the building starts, all of the elevators have these different silhouettes of Pokemon on them, and each floor is actually themed after a different Pokemon. So this is obviously the Charmander floor, and so each floor has one of these little wall arts as well, just for a different Pokemon. But obviously there's Pokemon scattered throughout the building. Like, look at this little statue of the original Kanto starters, and of course Pikachu. It's not Pokemon without Pikachu, and this is literally just the check-in area. And even like the wall art, like the living walls, are themed after Pokemon. Like, that was an electric symbol on the wall. Actually wild how many touches there are, and the view was immaculate. But obviously I had to get a shot of this Charizard, and there was a little surprise on his tail. There's just a little hidden Pichu. He's just vibing on the back. We love that. And of course the ceiling was also a Pokeball. But then we walked downstairs and there's this really cool wall that said train on. And if you look at the letters, all of the letters have different Pokemon on them too. Like, they really went all out with like the little hints of Pokemon everywhere. Even the conference rooms were Pokemon themed. But here is a wall that has all of their core values. I'll get a better shot of that later. I was just getting a tour, so obviously I was just filming as we walked through, but there was also this glass wall that had the sprites of the original 151 and these murals that were in like the cafeteria area of different Pokemon centers from different regions, which I thought was so cool. They also had this library that had literally every book that you can think of, like from kids books to guidebooks to like TV guides, like coloring books, you name it. They even had these little like books that teach you about typings. I mean, they're supposed to be kid books, but like I feel like that's useful for anybody. They also had these showcases that showcase some of the more like vintage pieces, which I thought was really cool because I'm also a fossil. So that's like my entire childhood. Clearly you can see that I was just nerding out in this area. But I think that my favorite section was the back, because that's where they had all of the Pokemon Adventures mangas. And of course they had the Platinum ones. And if you know anything about me, you know that Platinum is my favorite character because the Platinum game is my favorite game. They also had a bunch of like holiday stuff out too, since I went during December, obviously, so they had to be festive. And what's really cool is not only did they have the mangas from like the US, but they also had a bunch of books, not just the mangas, but literally all of the books too, in different languages. So it was really cool to see like how the books were translated and what they looked like in different areas of the world. And of course they had like new stuff too, like they had Detective Pikachu, literally like everything that you could think of. Like, I'm not kidding. I wanted to check out every book that was in here, and here's a better shot of Platinum because, like I said, I'm obsessed with Platinum. We love her. But look at this. This is literally in Spanish, which, yeah, like I said, it was really cool to see like how everything looked in different languages. I also got a better shot of all of the mosaics because these are little itty bitty tiles. Isn't that actually insane? Each of these is also labeled, so you don't have to like guess where each Pokemon Center is from. But like, if you have a good eye for detail, I'm sure you can make a little game out of it. But I thought that was really cool. Even my mom thought that was cool. And here's a better shot of the core values so you can see them all together. But then it was time to move on to the plushie wall. And apparently this is everyone's favorite. And obviously it was my favorite too, because you already know how much I like my plushies. It was also really cool to see how many plushies I didn't even know existed. So I'm gonna have to go hunt for them now. And look at how cute the little Umbreon and Espeon are. But they literally had like every plush that you could ever imagine. Look at this giant substitute plushie. They had like the holiday ones, which are so cute, and a couple of the world's plushies as well. Literally everything. They even had like Primal Kyogre and Groudon. There's a little shot of them there. Obviously I was having a great time. And right next to the plushie wall, there was this Daniel Arsham Charizard card, which was probably like one of my favorite things that I've seen. I actually went to go see that exhibit in Orange County, and even my mom went with me and we both loved it. But in the room that was like next to the plushie wall, they also had this entire wall of uncut cards from different generations, which I feel like this is like a collector's dream room. I'm pretty sure like these are very sought after pieces in the collector's community, and I can see why, because they are literally like art pieces. Just look at these. Absolutely stunning, amazing, beautiful. They also had these little like showcases that had different like figures in them from different regions, and they also had like these little vintage TV guides, which I didn't even know these existed. Like, there's so many things that like I didn't even know were a thing. And of course Ray Ray had to make an appearance too. But yeah, it was just cool to see like how much stuff is just out there. And of course, they have a ton of awards. But after we took the tour of that floor, it was time to go to the Pikachu floor. And this was like their bougie little like businessy floor. There was another Daniel Arsham piece here as well. And this amazing living wall, literally perfect for photo shoots. And there was also a Rayquaza conference room. So obviously I had to get a shot of that because that's literally why I was there. They also had this Eevee in the little kitchen area, and then just like a little overview of like everything. And even like inside of the conference rooms, there was like murals. Like this is the Tortuga one, and there was a literal whale lord in there. But this is like where we actually did the live stream. The studio was completely decked out for Scarlet and Violet. Even the lighting was Scarlet and Violet colors, which I thought was so cool. This was a Twitch exclusive stream, so if you missed it, here's a little sneak peek of it. It was so much fun. We basically just did shiny Rayquaza raids all day. I helped you guys get your shiny Rayquazas if you didn't have it yet, or maybe you didn't have them available in the game yet if you weren't far enough because you did have to finish the game. Pokemon even remembered my birthday, so they did give me some birthday presents and a card. And you guys started counting how many hurricanes I got hit by, which was crazy. I think we got up to like 25 at one point. And of course, we had streamer luck when it came to our TCG pack opens. Literally the first one that we opened, I got a Vaporeon and a Marshadow. And of course, it wouldn't be me if we didn't do some doubles battles. So of course, we had to throw together a shiny Rayquaza doubles team. And I don't think that Rayquaza lost a single battle this day. Look at how stressed I was because I really thought that we were about to like lose our perfect win streak because this endgame was crazy. But we ended up pulling it out with this U-turn from Incineroar of all Pokemon, right? But yeah, literally the entire day, Rayquaza did not lose. So it was a great day for Rayquaza on his big day. But overall, this was such a fun day. Thank you everyone that showed up to the stream. And of course, thank you so much to Pokemon for having me out. This was an amazing experience and I cannot wait to see what next year brings.